All set for action. We're ready to go right here in the world of sport from Dominion Television, your channel of choice. This is where we talk all things sport right here on the go. And this wonderful morning, we have so much to look forward to when talking sport. From the local front, Doma United, the newly promoted side from the MPFL, have so much to talk about. The new management, the new system, and players who are going to make it through to the MPFL for next season. Also, we'll be giving an update from the Flamingos and giving you more update from the rankings, the FIFA rankings, the Super Eagles. We'll be giving you more update from the World Cup, as we have some teams who have qualified already for the round of 32. And trust me, it's the goalkeeper season in the World Cup. So many saves are happening, and the goalkeepers who are underrated are making the balls. Also, we'll be giving you more actions in the world of transfer, as Nuruddin will be giving us updates in the world of tennis. But I'm not alone in the studio. But before I do that, I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I have Femi who is joining me yet again to talk sport. He's been buzzing about the World Cup. Yes. Every time on my DM is, I was enjoying the FIFA World Cup 2026. Femi, top of the morning to you, and how you feeling? 24
Yeah, top of the morning to you, and of course to our viewers across the world. It's an absolute pleasure to be back here, to talk sports. And what a feeling, what a moment we are having, in the World Cup so far. It's been enticing, it's been interesting. A lot of stories, emotional stories, footballing stories. It's been great. African teams, they've not been doing well. So they've not been doing bad, I beg your pardon. Yeah. So they've been doing well. Egypt, we saw them defeating New Zealand whilst men slept. Yeah. Egypt were doing their thing, and it's good,
It's a pattern. If you look at the story of Egypt, they like it when men are sleeping and they're doing their own works and all of that. But we thank God we're out of Egypt.
But then it's been interesting so far, especially for the African teams. I would say I've been impressed. Capo Verde, last night before we went to bed, we saw a fantastic performance against Uruguay. They've been doing themselves proud, and of course it is good to see the goalkeeper whose mother couldn't make it. She did make it, although he did concede 2 goals. But I mean, it was a good performance so far. For his country, and it's good to be here. To talk sports and then to dissect happenings in the world of sport. And of course, the World Cup as well. It's been interesting so far. We are enjoying it, and let's roll.
Okay, definitely let's roll and give you more actions from the world of sport this wonderful morning. Well, before that, I want to please follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit that comment. Drop your comments and let us know what you think ahead of the World Cup. We'll be dropping more result right here. But before I give you update coming through from the MPF, we're going to go on a short break, and when we're back, we're discussing Doma United. Stay connected. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right. right, if you're still very much connected to us, this is Dominion Television, your channel of choice, and this is Dominion Sport, where we talk all things sport right here on the go. And definitely we have not said so much, just an introduction, and Sanuri has joined us. Just like I said, he'll be giving us updates in the world of tennis. But before that, let me ask him, how was the weekend for you? They say the weekend are for actions, Monday definitely are for reactions. And how are you feeling, my brother?
I'm fine. Good morning to Luanimi. Good morning, my bro. It's nice to be back again, and it's just nice. The weekend was interesting. I had fun. I had loads of events to pick from. The Flamingos had their friendly yesterday, preparatory for the under 17 World Cup coming up. That was fun. In tennis, Francis Tiafoe picked up his first trophy in 3 years. That was exciting to see. And Felix Aliassime, he became the first Argentina to win in the Queen. He became the king in the Queen's course yesterday. So it was interesting for tennis, and looking forward to that. Serena Williams has announced her return back to Wimbledon singles, and she snatched the last wild card. The season for Wimbledon is out, and the qualifiers started today. Proper Wimbledon starts next week, and it's just exciting times. And the World Cup has not failed to serve loads of stories. Egypt got their first win yesterday. You spoke about that earlier in your introduction. Goalkeepers are shining. We are seeing players score several amount of goals, and fantastic stories are being written. Transfer values are being jacked up.
Jacked up now.
Loads of stories going on in the world of sport, and I'm just excited, and I'm looking forward to the Formula 1 Grand Prix this weekend. So it's just action-packed week ahead of us, and World Cup in its pivotal stage right now. Some teams are out, some teams still have the chance to make up in their last game, and it's just exciting. And let's do this, and let's go again.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's go again, and definitely that's what we're about to do. Giving you a story from the MPFL. As a newcomer, Doma United has appointed Deji Ayeni as the club new technical advisor ahead of next season campaign. The Gaffer signed 2 years contract. Ayeni arrives from Savannah Tigers with a serious pedigree from our boss as Sunshine Stars, Aqua United, and Eyimba FC. It brings a tactical depth, MPFL experience, and a track record of building a competitive team. Coach Najib Mabo, who guided Doma United back to the MPFL, will work with the newly promoted technical advisor. And we also got the report that Doma United CEO Alhaji Suleiman Umar met with the new players at the ongoing screen exercise ahead of the new NPFL season. His message was clear: selection is based on merit. Any player and a coach that is good will be picked. We believe in ability, commitment, and hard work, he said. He described the club as a land of grace, a place for discipline and dedicated players to grow and succeed. Focus, discipline, perform. That's the part to the team. The CEO was addressing the team with newly, appointed technical advisor Deji Ayeni. Let me start off with you, Femi. Doma United are back in the MPFL. All of these new changes, when it comes to the management. And one thing striking my knowledge is I can appreciate the fact of Deji Ayeni coming in. You need, an experienced man to guide you through the system, the ranks of the MPFL, who has done it over the years. And you within this experience. But what I'm surprised about is this statement saying, speaking about the selection of players. So are you saying that the players that made it through for you, to the MPFL stage, are you going to scrap them out? Or what's the system going to be like? I would love you to start with Deji Ayeni appointment.
I mean, for Deji Ayeni, it's a good one. A manager of his pedigree with his CV. He's been there, done that. He's played in Sunshine Stars and a few of other clubs. You will take credence from what Sunshine Stars, did I say Sunshine Stars? Shooting Stars of Ibadan. What he did last year, they brought in Nuruddin Awerero from Ikorodu City, and then he had a fantastic season. Apparently one of the best managers in the league, top 3 in my opinion, and the league last season. Of course, finishing 3rd as well. You don't come by such feats by mere luck or by mere chance. You work towards such feats, and he did achieve it. So, of course, for Doma United, we wish the new manager all the very best, and I know that he's a young guy. I'm sure he will do well for himself. However, when you look at the players who paraded the club and the games for you last season, it's a new season. You're preparing for the new season. So that's why when we look at the football in this country, you begin to wonder and you begin to ask yourself that, what do we really do right? What do we really get right? Okay, you're trying to say that you want to have a max Exodus in your team, and you are letting go of about 23, 25 players, and then you are not only signing new players, you're screening. This is MPFL, this is 2026, screening. to bring in unprofessional players. Mind you, I'm not saying they are not talented players, but they are not at the power of professionalism yet. These are players who are just playing street football. You want them to come and execute a 38 game for you. How do you sign? You're supposed to sign players, buy from this club, get from this club, run this football club professionally the way it's meant to be. You are screening players in 2026. I mean, I don't buy that idea. And the chairman is saying that we will pick the best of the best. We want to pick the best of the best from the street to execute 38 games for you. You're supposed to sign player. Oh, we saw this guy from Nasarawa United. He's a fantastic left back. Let's get him. We saw this guy from Ikorodu. Let's get him. Oh, we even saw this guy from NNL last season. Let's buy him. Let's sign him. You're screening players. I don't agree to that. I don't.
All right. It looks as Sanurudeen has other opinions, because he was smiling when he talked about screening. I think he's one man that loves screening players. And let me get his opinion. Sanurudeen, do you agree with Femi saying we should not be doing this in 2026? You talk about the Wiki Tourist team who were relegated. You can get players from the ranks. You look at other teams who got relegated. Those players will want to also come back to play in the MPFL. So you can snatch them. You can do the deal. But the major problem is we don't even have contracts for most of these players. We don't have signings. So when you sign player, you don't even know the contract. You don't know how many years this player is signing for, how much is the fee, what's going into it, and all of that. Sanurudeen.
It's so sad, like you said, screening player in 2026, that's not the way to go about it. But you won't blame the team. You don't know the financial capability of the team at the moment. Can they afford to put these players on proper contracts, get players from clubs that are relegated, or even from their close rivals, or players from top flight clubs that have been released, just to make up the numbers for next season?
So why can't the MPFL have a system that says, if you don't have all of these measures, you check your financial stability, we check that, okay, if you're sending players, you have all of this detail that if you can't meet up to it, then you can't be in a team. That's why we are calling for professionalism in the MPFL.
I'm sorry to ask you this question, but when has the MPFL stuck by the rule book for themselves? Not even talk about the clubs that are participating in their competitions. There is yet to be a guideline or framework for the new season coming up. Last week Friday, the Premier League has released matches for the whole 38 games. Yes, they've been subject to changes in one of, but we don't even know the teams that have qualified for the MPFL officially from the quarters of the MPFL. So that's to show you how lackadaisical we are in this part of the world. There's no framework from what's going to happen next season, what are the improvements, what are the changes in rules that we're going to get, what are the things that would improve the league from what went wrong last season. We don't have anything from them. So you won't blame the clubs for doing the things the same way the governing body is going by their things. But for Doma United, they've gotten a new man, a new technical advisor now. They said the coach is going for training to make him capable to coach in the MPFL, and we know how that ends most times. There will be clash of thoughts and clash of ideas, and at the end of the day, it's going to affect the performance of the team. So they need to go back to the drawing board, get one or two players that are standard for the league, even if they are not at the top of the level. But you still need professional players that have done it before and are professionals, not players from Gen League. I'm sorry to put it that way, but Doma United gone the right way, gotten a manager, yes, but you have the financial capacity to bring in a new technical advisor. Why not expand that to the players that you want to prosecute the 38-game league for you? So they will see the result of their they'll get the result of their preparations when the season starts, and we don't want to hear complaints of we were shortchanged, or you had 2 or 3 months to plan for the new season. You've confirmed your Premier League status for next season. So now every other team is campaigning to get players from their rivals, improve the quality of their squad, and you want to go the way of
if you're screening, great.
Whatever works for everybody.
I agree, but definitely we're going to be seeing more of Doma United in the MPFL this season. I will be giving you more updates when it comes to the MPFL. We hope that we get the update, because when it comes to Nigeria Professional Football League, we're scratching for the news. We're trying to get all of that put together. So it's a whole lot. In senior climbs, it's quite easy to source for news, but all of this is where we're having the issues. Currently, Femi and Sanurudeen, we are supposed to have a change of power in the MPFL, and nothing is still being said until now.
The current MPFL chairman is contesting in the in the coming general election. So that should show you where we are.
I mean, we are so unserious.
Yeah, so it's so sad, but that's what we found ourselves.
Yeah.
We just need to keep clamoring for better administration in our football leagues and in our sporting industry. Hopefully we get it very soon.
All right, let's move away from that. Let's talk about the Nigerian under-17 Flamingos. 3 new Dream Stars. We're talking about against the Dream Stars ladies, Mary Dunstan, Queen Joseph, and Oluwakemi Adegbuyi. Yet again, this name is making so much claim. I'm talking about Oluwakemi Adegbuyi. We hope to see her, integrated. I've been following that profile for a long time. The young Flamingos delivered a strong statement with a convincing friendly victory ahead of the 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifiers. Next up is going to be against the Benin Republic. Home leg, July the 3rd to the 5th, 2026. Away leg is going to happen July 10th to 12th, 2026. Femi, Dream Stars for the Flamingos to friendly for the preparation.
Rather unsurprisingly, you would expect them to get all the victory in the game. So it's quite it's a good one that they've gotten the victory. And so when you look at the Nigerian football national team, it's more or less like the female teams. They've been the one that's been giving us joy in the last decade or so. They've won the most Alcon. The girls have, when you vis-a-vis juxtapose the Flamingos to the under-17 boys. Nigeria have now played in the under-17 World Cup in about 3 or 4 editions. And you see the Flamingos always being there representing, apparently participating in it. We're not saying go there to win. Go there to win, it's a bonus. It's a developmental stage for 8th grade football. We've not seen our under-17 boys play at the under-17 World Cup, which, mind you, we have been the one that has won this tournament the most. Anyway, it's just sad that we find ourselves in this position. But for the girls, kudos to the Flamingos. I'm sure they will get the better of Benin Republic and qualify for the World Cup. All
right, Sanuruddin, the Flamingos, just like Femi has said, if we had Mabuba on seat, I'm sure you would have just given maybe Femi some some millions right now, because he mentioned something you are always clamoring for, saying this competition is not for the win, it's for development.
Yes, it's to progress, it's check progression and include young stars into the team and put them onto professionalism until they get to the big stage. And we've seen it done in senior climbs. You catch them young, you include 1 or 2 of them, and they progress with the team. And when this group of players plays together for a very long time, you are building a winning team. And we saw what Germany did with their under-17 boys, like some Muller, Cruz. We saw they progress together. Ozil. We saw the way they progressed together and got to the big stage and later got the World Cup. So that's why developmental competitions are very important, and that's why FIFA and other governing bodies have put that in place. So, but for me, the game for Flamingos, I wasn't convinced enough. They created loads of chances and they missed loads of chances, and that has always been a problem for me. They are not clinical enough. You create chances, and when you get in front of the goal, you fluff your chances. So why are you putting those strikers in those positions? So for me, they need to work on that. And the defense looked a little bit jittery. At some point in the second half, the Dream Star ladies got into the game, put the ball around the defenders, and the technical ability of the Dream Star ladies should be commended, because they did well. They gave the Flamingos a run for their money, but the Flamingos need to do better. They need to be more clinical. Yes, they are technical, they create chances, but if you don't put the ball in the back of the net,
you don't win games.
You won't win games, and you falter at the end of the day. So that part needs to be addressed by the technical advisor and his team. But if, apart from those things, the team looks set for the competition, and like Femi said, I support him. They should get the better of Benin Republic in both legs and snatch the ticket at the end of the day. All
right, beautiful. That's the update coming through from the camp of the Flamingos. Moving away from that quickly, let's just talk about the rankings. The Super Eagles have climbed 2 places in the FIFA ranking despite being absent at 2026 World Cup. Nigeria now sits 24th globally, the highest ranking in 16 years. Sanuruddin.
I'm not impressed. It's not at the World Cup, and you know my opinion about the rankings. It's just ceremonial for me. The only way I think it can make it better is make it teams that qualify for the World Cup, arrange them in order of the way they participated and the points and all. That will give teams the chance. But with the way FIFA do their things, the World Cup is still going on. We still expect changes between now and next month.
July,
so Egypt got a win yesterday. That is going to definitely contribute to their rankings next time out. And for Portugal, the games they drew against Cape Verde and Nigeria ampled their chances and brought them back. So it's just the way it happens. At the end of every month, we come back to the drawing board. As your team progressed up on the rankings, or have they regressed? it's going to help the national teams too to prepare for their friendlies, how to get team starts, would help their cause on the rankings for the qualifiers and all. But for me, off season, when it's not the World Cup qualifiers, when the rankings help you for your seedings, when you want to get teams to play, before ranking is just ceremonial for me. And for Super Eagles, they got a draw against Poland and Portugal in the last 2 games, helped their fortunes on the rankings, but they're not at the World Cup, so it's
nothing to celebrate for you.
Femi,
is this something to celebrate for you, the FIFA ranking?
Well, I don't think so either. I don't think there's anything to celebrate. I'm still angry, that we didn't make it to the World Cup. It's quite sad. We had our chances. I said it on the radio a couple of weeks ago that we had 5 different instances where we could have made it to the World Cup and we didn't make it. It's so sad. So these rankings, the only thing these rankings does is that when you are being placed in a qualifying stage, so you'll be ranked with teams who are way lesser, so that would give you better chances. When I still take my mind back to the World Cups where we had Rwanda, we had Benin Republic, South Africa. We could have been in the World Cup today, but sadly we are not there. But then it is what it is. It's football. We just these rankings are just there. We've leapfrogged 2 places. When you look at Iraq are ahead of us in the ranking. It's sad. But then it's funny. The Super Eagles would see Iraq today and we take them to the cleaners. But then it's the ranking. What do we say?
Okay, definitely. I love that. All right, I'll give you more updates. We just need to put that to you that the Super Eagles have now gone 24th globally. All right, let's move away from that. Let's talk about situation in England, and this coming through from Frank Lampard, set to sign a 3-year contract at Coventry City. That is coming from the report. According to the report, he got them promoted to the Premier League, now committing his future to the club. Do you think he should be the one to handle this team for next season?
Yeah, it should be. When you look at Coventry City, there's been a trajectory in the way they play their football. Take your mind back to the 23-24 FA Cup season. They were semi-finalists. They lost to Eric Ten Hag's side in the semi-final. I think extra time.
Yes,
Haji Wright had a goal. The goal was ruled out for offside. The last minute goal, it was ruled out for offside, and it hampered their chances of getting to the FA Cup final. And then, of course, a couple of years later, you see them winning the championship with a very marginal point, and seeing them, they paraded a good number of players. Haji Wright, Frank Onyeka was helping their cause, and they had a very good squad. And Frank Lampard did the magic for them, ceremoniously, as it were, won them the championship title. So he deserves to be given this 3 years contract. Frank Lampard, he was once, a recipient of his own downfall, so to speak. So why did I say that? He went from Derby County to Chelsea. He didn't do well at Chelsea. Then he got degraded back, found himself, water found its level, found himself where he could explore, where he could bring his ideas on, and he found himself winning the championship. It's not being fit. Champions is like the hardest league to win. There are no VARs to help your cause. The stadiums are not up to par. They are not like the Premier League stadiums. You have to play at least 2 games per week. Standard in the championship, you have to play at least 2 games per week, and he's done that. I think they play 46 games if I'm not mistaken, and he's done that, being the champion. So he deserves the 3 years extension.
Okay, beautiful. I'm sure Sanu also agrees that Frank Lampard should be the one to take charge of Coventry City for next season.
He has the offer of first refusal. He did a great job with them last season, bringing them from the championship and winning the championship, bringing them back to the Premier League. First time in a while for them and their fans. So why switch ships now? And there are no managers out there. This is a man that understands the team. He just needs to add 1 or 2 players to improve the quality of the side, and I know he's going to do very well with them. The pressure is not as high as that of Chelsea or any other top sides in England at the moment. So just perform at the various minimum, display what you've got, and I think they'll be fine at the end of the day.
All right, beautiful. That's the update coming through from the Premier League. Coventry City, according to report, trying to give Frank Lampard a 3-year contract. All right, let's move away from that and let's talk about the FIFA World Cup. Exciting times upon us still, and we're enjoying the frenzy. Mexico already qualified for the round of 32, and we look at some other teams also. The United States of America. So right now, we're hosting the World Cup. We're getting qualification that are as good as it can be. Also, you look at some teams that got eliminated. I'm surprised to see Turkey out of the World Cup with no goals and chances created, per excellence. But I can't imagine a team like Turkey not making it through to the World Cup, Femi.
I think on a lighter note, there's been a troll from the Kosovo national team trolling Turkey, saying that you guys got the better of us to get to the World Cup. Hey, look at you now. I saw the Turkish convoy when they were heading to the World Cup.
Whoa,
That's
massive.
massive. But sadly for them, I don't think they've not scored a goal in the tournament so far. 0 goals scored. They've had loads and loads of chances. They've been denied by excellent goalkeeping, and it's just sad that Turkey have found herself getting knocked out of the World Cup at this very early stage. So that's the beauty of the World Cup. You know, teams coming from nowhere, springing up results here and there. We've seen some of the African teams doing great for themselves. Look at Curacao, considered 7 against Brazil. I mean against Germany, and then denied the other team from scoring. The goalkeeper made himself a big bull in the back, and so it's the beauty of the World Cup, surprises here and there, and I'm not surprised that teams don't want to be taken to the cleaners. They also want to come out. Look at Cape Verde yesterday. They had an excellent performance yesterday. They didn't bow down for the Uruguayans yesterday. They held their own and they made sure that they gave a good performance. So for Turkey, end of the road, I don't even think they can't make it through the third place route. It's over.
It's over.
What if they get 3 points?
Well, what if?
Well, that's dependent on the other teams as well.
Yeah,
on the other teams, the other 8 teams, who might also qualify.
It's still open.
They're done already. I'm going to help you with that. I'm just going to help you get that correctly. But while I'm trying to do that, or maybe while Femi is trying to help me get their group, Sanuruddin 60 shots, 0 goals, World Cup anti-record. That's happened over the weekend. Also, Sabari equals Salah's African record. That was over the weekend before Salah got a goal yesterday. And also the first red card for covering the mouth also happened over the weekend. Miguel Almiron.
Yes, with the Pastrani law is making rounds now. Leading to the World Cup, we heard about changes that were coming to the rules, and that's what we expect for every World Cup cycle. We have changes to the rules, things that happened over the couple of years that will be improved, that will brought in to improve the rule of the game. So for Miguel Almiron, it was on the end of that. On Saturday, he covered his mouth towards the end of the halftime, and he didn't actually hamper the chances of his Paraguayan side getting the 1-0 victory at the end of the day, but that's not what you want to see. And I would like to see the extent at which the rule goes now. Is it offensive chat alone, or just speaking to your opponent or to your friend on the pitch, and you don't want the cameras to pick what you are saying? So I think there will be clarifications to that later on, but officially the rule has kicked off. The first culprit has been Miguel Almiron, covered his mouth while the referee was addressing players. And
sad one for him.
Sad one for him. But at the end of the day, his team were able to get the maximum point at the end of the day, and that's what matters in the end. He was not able to be a part of that team, but looking forward to subsequent games for him in the squad, and I think he's going to do well with the side. All
right, so let me just give you the information. It looks like maybe you have some friends in Turkey.
Who doesn't like Turkey?
It's -3. They are -3 points of goal difference. So there's nothing that they will do to serve themselves any right of making qualification.
They will score 6 goals.
Okay, hopefully. Also, over the weekend, we got a report that
6 goals against the host nation. I don't think that's happening.
They will field new players, and they will field new players that will allow us score 6 goals.
We've seen stranger things happen though, but this is not.
We still want Turkey at the World Cup.
All right, over the weekend also, we got the report that we have crisis in the camp of Senegal. I don't know, any of us saw the story. Players are unhappy with the conditions, coach without contract, unpaid bonuses, poor living conditions, 5 months without a salary for the manager.
It's I'm sorry. It's so sad. Not just the Senegalese team. I'm seeing controversies from the Ghanaian team as well. Reuse of jerseys, washing jerseys after a game. It's so sad. That is very, very, very shameful for them. For Senegal, champions on paper, or champions in the minds of loads of people of Africa, going to the World Cup, not having proper accommodation. And they complained about this at the AFCON as well. People were pointing fingers to the Moroccan side or the host nation, saying they were the ones that caused that for them. But now at the World Cup, is it the USA or the Mexican team or the Canadian side that is causing the issues for them? It's so sad. Things like this should not make it out. We complain here on the daily, on the regular, about what the NFF is doing to Nigerian football. But I see our purported brothers from Africa going through the same thing. Imagine those players don't have the luxury of the clubs they play with to cover their finances. Or imagine the manager who hasn't been paid in 5 months, and you expect top-notch performance from him. You want him to function at the best of his abilities, and it's just sad. And I hope they correct that and come out to debunk or find a solution to that as soon as possible for the Senegalese side, because their group is very tough. They lost the first game to France. They're going to play the second game very soon, and against Norway, it's tough. You don't want to face Ireland when you are not in the right frame of mind. You're still going to bang in 2 or 3 goals against your opponents. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Femi, within few seconds, Senegal.
I share Sarnuddin's thoughts. But for Pape Thiaw, the coach of Senegal, we've seen he's a passionate man. There's no smoke without fire. That is not to say that these stories are not true. He plays the game, coaches the team in the right way. But I feel like the management wise, why is it always Africa? When we complain, we only thought it was Nigeria.
Yeah,
Nigeria is worse. There's nothing you want to tell me. But look at the level Senegal are in their football. Senegal are about the best footballing nation in Africa across all age grade football. They've been there, done that. In the last 5 years, they've been the best team in Africa. Look how this is the highest stage of football in the world. Look at how you're treating your players. He did say something about the financial capability of the players. I learned that some players even go out to eat. Even their chef, the team chef, didn't travel with them to the United States. That is how that bad, how poorly prepared they were, administratively, for the World Cup. But footballing wise, I just feel like, I hope that, I don't know where my tent, I'm pitching my tent this time, but I think they should get a victory. Hopefully they get a victory over Erling Haaland's Norway.
Norway?
It's possible. It's football,
Hopefully.
Let's look at some teams who have, some players who have scored brazen hat-trick in the World Cup. Messi, we have Jonathan David, we look at the man, Balogun, we look at Kai Havertz, Ayari, Kylian Mbappe, we have Erland, we have Kane, we have Matheus Cunha also getting on the score sheet over the weekend right there. All right, let's move away from that. Let's look at more stories making it around in the World Cup quickly.
Dennis Undav, the German,
fantastic.
He's been excellent so far. He's one of the top candidates for the player of this tournament so far. Apparently, in best of my knowledge, best player in the group stage so far. He's coming in 2 games, provided a goal and an assist in the previous game. The second game scored 2, provided an assist as well. He's been excellent.
Okay, beautiful. Let's also look at what's happening with in the camp of Brazil. We got the update that Rafinha is injured. That's the update we're getting. How much of an absence will it be, for Brazil going forward in this World Cup?
I don't think he's going to be missed that much. He's not that regular for the Brazilian national team. Yes, he's a fantastic player. We saw what he does with Barcelona. He runs around the defensive Liga. But when it comes to the national team, I don't think he's that man for them. And it was evident in the first 2 games of the tournament he played. He was nowhere to be found in the first game against Morocco. The game against the second game they played, where Cunha got 2 goals against 80. He wasn't all that before he got off the pitch. So I think he's not going to be missed that much, but he's a very good player. He can add quality to the side. You can bring him on to do 1 or 2 things, or even when he starts games, he's a clutch player. He can decide games for you. So he's an integral part of the squad, but I don't think he's going to be that player. They have loads of players on that wing. Matheus Cunha, even though he played centrally against 80, he can do a job on that flank. There's Vinicius Junior. There's Martinelli from Arsenal. They are stacked up front for Brazil. And Neymar is yet to join the side as well. So I think for the Brazilian attacking options, they are sport with choice. They are sport with loads of players that can decide games for you. So 1 player down, it's a 26-man squad. Let's do it again and get players that would effect games for us properly.
Beautiful. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there is a name he left out to chip in, Ryan, the Bournemouth guy.
And Hendrick is also part of it.
So Hendrick is not getting a game. I'm telling you for free. I don't think Don Carlo is ready to integrate the boy into a match, into the game so far. He's always been there cheering the teams from the bench, but I don't think Don Carlo has one issue with that boy that we don't know what's going on. But for Bournemouth and for Ryan, he was the one that came in for Rafinha when he was substituted. He's an excellent boy. We've seen what he's done.
We saw what he did with Bournemouth towards the end of last season, and to justify the heavy money was paid to take him away from the Brazilian league down to the mainstream league in Premier League, and that's nice, fantastic one. There were question marks about why he was called ahead of some players in the Premier League, likes of João Pedro, and it's proven them wrong with his performances. Let's see what happens.
I think Neymar should be integrated for the third game.
Hopefully we don't get another report again from Neymar.
I'm not
a fan of Neymar, getting it. I'm sure everybody watching me right now will be wondering, why is Neymar being called to the World Cup? Well, let's see how that one goes. Ecuador against the Curaçao. Yes, that was way beyond. Am I correct with that, Femi?
Yeah.
That was way beyond my imagination. And you look at the goalkeeper, 15 saves. 15. We're talking 15, and the name is Room. Leave no room for error.
He left no room for error. He left no room for any imaginations for the Ecuadorians, and it was an excellent game. I saw that. I mean, what's his name? Enner Valencia. I mean, he should face some backlash. And one thing about the Ecuadorians, you know what they're okay. It's the Colombians who did the nonsense they did in 1994. But these South American teams, you know what they're capable of doing. Enner Valencia had flurry of chances and they fluffed all of them. They were profligate in front of goal. That is not to discredit the goalkeeper. It was excellent. He had a very good game. But then when you look at, you had 15 shots on target. That's ridiculous. It's been a while. I think that is the second
goal was 3.08.
At least they should score 4 goals
in that game.
That's that crazy.
There's a reason why I'm paying.
We all know the reason why you're paying, but
I am.
But then if it was just crazy, I think statistical wise, I think that game was the second least game where you had that amount of shots on target without scoring a goal in the World Cup history since 1930, 100 years down the line. I mean, it's not 100 years, but getting towards that, it's just ridiculous that they faced. But of course, Room left no room, for them, and it was a good game actually.
Beautiful, good game. Sanuruddin, the Netherlands against Sweden. You did see that happening.
I saw it happening.
Now, Brobbey, I've been following it from the Sunderland game, even from Ajax, and I know how strong he is on defenders. It doesn't take his chance. It will bully you off the ball and all of that. He got a brace in that game. Getting his call up, his start in that game. Gakpo also getting a brace. And the man who is on the radar of Manchester United and another club, Crescencio Somerville, also getting another goal at the World Cup.
Yeah,
goes to 1.
Somerville has always been in around the news towards the end of the season. You saw he scored in about 4 or 5 games back to back for West Ham before the season ended. So that was a very great one for him. And for Brobbey, I followed him right from Ajax down to the Premier League, and he's a fantastic striker, point man. He disturbs the defense as much as possible. It's that man you want to put in the middle of central backs and give them problems from the get-go to the end of the whistle. So that was a fantastic performance for him as well. And for Gakpo, he's in and around there. He announced himself at the last World Cup before he moved away from the Netherlands down to Liverpool. It was fantastic, and now again in the World Cup has 2 goals, done well, seeming right place at the right time. So for Netherlands, I expected that victory from them. If you have Graham Potter as your coach, I don't expect much from you. The Swedish
but he won it first. He won it by the same margin.
The Netherlands have not lost a game in 90 minutes since 2006 at the World Cup. That's to show you how fantastic they are. 90 minutes, they would rather drag you down to extra time. And for a side as resilient and tactically sound as Netherlands, they have Ronald Koeman as their coach. If you look at the backline, they have Van Dijk, they have Van der Ven. Players of
John Van Eyck,
they have
Dumfries.
Dumfries is part of that side, and they still have players that Timber make it to the World Cup due to injury. So that's to show you they have De Jong in the midfield, they have Gravenberch, they have players that would dictate the midfield, that would control the tempo of the game from the beginning of the whistle to the end of the whistle. So they are very fantastic side, and to show you the golfing class.
They were just too difficult for is it South Korea now?
Yes. And in that game they led twice. The Korean national team came back twice in the game. That's to show you how tough it was in that game. So Netherlands miles ahead of Sweden in my own opinion, and Elanga came on within 4 minutes. He got a goal. That's to show you he's going to do something right. But for Sweden, you have 2 of the best strikers in the world in Gyökeres and Isak, and you can't affect games. It's so sad for me, and let's see what happens to them at the end of the group stage.
All right, let's talk about our African brothers quickly. We're going to be talking about how they have been, doing well in this competition. But it was sad that the Côte d'Ivoire could not hold on to a 3-point or maybe a 1 point. It was really sad. Dennis Indel, just you giving credit to him, they gave them 2 goals to 1, and. If they had picked up that victory, they would have picked up qualification for the round of 32, the first time in their history. Femi.
I mean, it was quite sad. I would blame one person. His name is Simon Adingra.
I saw his reaction.
I mean, all you needed to do in that instance, slot the ball.
What are you?
Manuel Neuer is not all that anymore.
Yeah.
Put it in the perfect corner.
Were you waiting for a YouTube highlight for that?
I mean,
what did you want to call that?
I'm sure if Adingra has taken the first instance to slot the ball, Neuer would not have moved an inch. He would have stood rooted and he would have been shocked, finding the ball at the back of the net. But for Simon Adingra, that's no surprise how Brighton has shipped him off their team. Just send him on an exile. It was so sad that he couldn't convert the chance. And for the whole team entirely, it was quite ridiculous that they couldn't hold on to the lead, conceding 2 late goals. When Germany equalized late, I felt like, okay, let's hold on to this 1 point. And then they got the winner late, almost the last kick of the game. And I was like, oh, how did he find ourselves in this situation? So quite sad. For me, Emas Faye, I'm sure he will go back to the drawing board and tell his boys that you can do better.
This last game, we need it. They do.
Sanuruddin,
qualification ready for Germany, great one. Let's talk about some key players. Felix Nmecha, Dennis Undav, and we have a report that Schlotterbeck is injured and might not be part of the World Cup to the very end. But just 3 players I mentioned, and also Germany qualification quickly.
Yes, they've done well for themselves. You expected them to do that. Former champions, 4-time champions of the world, and you know what to expect from them. Cote d'Ivoire give them a tough time, but at the end of the day, they found their way, and that's what great teams do. Undav came on, was decisive. Same thing he did in the first game, got goals for them, and now again, he banged in 2 goals. That's what you expect. But for Cote d'Ivoire, I'm not sorry for them. I'm sorry to say that, but Adingra, when he sees the Super Eagles, he opens his head like everything clicks for him. But when he comes,
Olainan would not forgive him.
Never ever. So and I won't forgive him as well for what he's done to the Super Eagles and what he did to my hopes at the AFCON right there in their country. So for them, they have a chance to regroup and go back again. Yes, they have 3 points on the board as well. But for Germany, qualify to the next rounds, you have the chance to field 1 or 2 players that were not part of the first 2 games. Give them playing time to keep them fresh enough for when you need them in the later stages of the competition. So good one for Germany.
For Felix,
great one. But for Schlotterbeck, very sad one for him, and there are no chances to replace Pierre now again. They are reduced to 25-man squad now, and good luck to the rest of the contingent as they prosecute the games at the World Cup.
All right, beautiful. Let's head straight down to the games that happen on Sunday. Belgium cannot pick up. I think it's past the era already for the Red Devils.
The golden generation.
It's past the era already. They got a draw against Iran, and we now have 8 red cards in this competition. That's the most in the last competition, where we had 4 red cards, and that didn't happen. Also, there's a story in the Belgium camp that Jeremy Doku wants to travel to have, and there's so much buzz around it.
There is.
If it was you, what are you going to be doing? Would you rather represent your country, or maybe go visit your wife where you're about to have your first child?
It's a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive topic. Jeremy Doku has made the decision, but then still at the expense of his country. If Doku had been on the pitch yesterday, he would have made a difference, I'm sure, because he's a very dicey player. You don't know where he stands. He's improved in the last 12 months as a footballer. He's greatly improved. His finishes have been excellent. His skills have been excellent as well. But then we are talking about the childbirth, the very first that you would be experiencing. So he took an excuse. It's not with the team because he didn't play yesterday. He took an excuse that I want to go and be with my wife, for my childbirth, and he was excused from the team. But a lot of buzz have been around it in the social space that, hey, why should he leave? He's not man enough. You would not be there to deliver the mother of the child. You're just going to be there. Oh, will you be crying with your wife? There's been a lot of some nonsense talk. I beg your pardon.
What are you going to be doing?
I mean, in this case, I don't even know. I don't know where I'll pitch my tent. I mean, this is my first child.
Wow.
I don't know though, because this is my country. Millions of people are watching back home. They want us to, they want me to do them proud. They want me to do the nation proud. And of course, we are talking about my first child here. I mean, I don't know.
Family
we're talking family. I don't know.
I think Sanori answers for me.
I know where I'll go with my family, my immediate family. That's with my wife and my child, born child. Because at the end of the day, if we lose at the competition, the whole nation who were cheering us on,
will not cheer you up again.
They will cheer up, and
I agree.
They will say something about my wife and my child.
They will stay with me.
They always stay with me.
Yeah, admiration at that point was something in quote, not something to elevate them for whatever life they were living at that time. But I mean, it was something to fill their pocket as a 17-year-old.
Yeah,
you know. But then,
20,000.
to God be the glory, where these guys find themselves now, Osimhen, Chukwueze, and a number of them in the squad.
How many of them, to God be the glory, found themselves the way Victor Osimhen and the likes found themselves?
How many of those players they competed against to win the competition are also in place they want to be? Also, and
I like the clap back. I love the clap back.
What did their counterparts from other countries get from their?
Okay, let's talk about Spain. Let's talk about Spain. Victory today. Lamine Yamal getting his first goal in his first World Cup and his first start right there for Spain. So quickly.
It's not. There's nothing for me. So it's just there for me. And it was against the Saudi side. It was a tap-in goal. Yes, tap-ins are part of football. You have to be at the right place at the right time and get the right connection with the ball to put the ball back on the net. But still, the Saudi side, for me yesterday, they were just there for them to be taken. Yeah. Defensively, they were uncoordinated. They couldn't clear the ball with one clean strike. That resulted to giving Spain plenty touches in their box, and you don't give a team as clinical or as experienced as Spain. Yeah. Oyarzabal was there, got 2 goals. Ferran Torres played against you, even though his goal was chalked off. You are playing against Nico Williams, you are playing against Lamine Yamal, you are playing against Cucurella, Rodri, Pedro Porro. These are players that have been there, done that, and you can't be making silly mistakes like secondary school football guys. So they were punished for that, and Lamine Yamal, good one for him, and that's himself to the world stage. And it wasn't risked for the second half. It was brought off immediately after the first half to preserve him for the rest of the competition, where I think it's going to be very important for the Spanish national side. So good one for them. They got their first win. They were not denied this time around by the goalkeeper, and let's see what happens in the last round of games for them.
All right, Salah also delivers at the World Cup. Mo Salah 4 World Cup games, Russia, Saudi Arabia, an assist against Belgium, a goal and an assist against New Zealand. 4 World Cup, 5 goals involvement, and there's now been 3 goalless games at the World Cup so far. All 3 have been entertaining to watch. When you look at it, the goalkeepers are proving so much dynamism in that one. Tomorrow is going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about African teams, how far they are going in the World Cup. But we have exciting games to look forward to today. Fem's going to help me with that. Within 30 seconds, what's happening in the world of tennis?
I gave a little bit intro when we started. Cerundolo, Francis Tiafoe, he got the better of his opponent yesterday in Germany. The home faithful, current Roland Garros winner, what's his name now? I'm sorry, he skipped my head. But yeah, no, not Yannick Sinner. Zverev, the current Roland Garros champion, got to the semi-final, but he couldn't get to the front of his faithfuls in the final. But Tiafoe did that yesterday. He got his first trophy in 3 years. Quite a long time coming. He played fantastically. And Francis August has said he also got the victory in Queens yesterday. He became the king in Queens, the first Argentinian to do that. Fantastic work for him. And I mentioned that Serena Williams has announced that return back to Wimbledon. She got the seven-time champion, and she got the last wildcard slot for the tournament. It's exciting to see how she performs at that, and she already announced she's going to play doubles with her sister at Wimbledon, but now the singles is confirmed as well. That's exciting for us, and the seeds for both the ATP and the WTA have been released by Wimbledon, and we're going to see fantastic players perform next week when the competition starts proper, and the qualifiers are going on at the moment for players that will join the already seeded players, and let's see what happens between now and weekend. I'll give you more updates over that.
All right, beautiful, and we're about to draw the curtain of today's show. Femi, what fixtures do we have for the World Cup today quickly?
Today by 6 p.m. Argentina play their second game against Austria, and by 10 France they play Iraq.
Beautiful. All right,
Nigerian time.
10 p.m. Nigerian time. 10 p.m.
All right, that's all we're going to cut out today's show. I want to thank everybody that joined us. A big thanks to the fans, to the producer, to the crew, for making sure Dominion Sport remains on the global stage. Femi, a big thank you to you for joining us today. Sanuruddin, thank you so much for giving us your in-depth analysis on the show. We're going to see you again tomorrow. We'll be discussing more about the World Cup, more about African teams in the World Cup, and more stories covering the world of sport. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi. Please keep watching Dominion Television. This is your channel of choice.